Now to discuss Threadneedle Ventures founder and Barry, along with Mike Lee, strategy founder Mike Lee. And I know the volume is light.
Yeah.
But is there something else underpinning this market? All the guests keep saying the same thing, that the market's not listening to the Fed. The market's certainly not listening to the mavens of Wall Street who keep saying it's going to go much lower. So what's holding it up?
Well, the volume could be like because people are actually on vacation, Charles. I mean, there's
vacation.
What's
that?
Of year. You don't know what that is. But there's no new news right now, right? And when there's no new news absent company-specific earnings, there's just not a lot of catalyst for a lot of movement. Tomorrow, I think we'll see a little bit of movement there.
Mike?
Yeah, I'm not worried about low volume on markets going higher, especially because there's no panic in a higher market. I mean, when your portfolio is up, are you nervous? I'm certainly not. So,
but I'm saying everyone on Wall Street is like a room full of a long-tailed cat, a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs. Everyone on Wall Street is saying that Powell's got to come hard. He's got to slam this market. He's got to get it, straighten this market out, and that means send it much lower.
Yeah, I'm not going to listen to Powell. I'm going to look at the Fed futures while he's speaking. And we've moved from a very high probability of a Fed rate cut after a pause in the first quarter of next year to potentially a rate hike in the first quarter and no cuts until later next year and the year after. And that's moving very quickly.
Is that old bullish Mike coming back through?
Look, I don't think we're going to retest these lows. I think we've got some stuff to work through. And so maybe if he's very hawkish, maybe we give up 5% of this rally back, but we're not going to touch it. We've rallied enough. I think a new bull market has started. Maybe you get a chance to get in cheaper than today, but it's, the worst is already in.
So, and I think it was last Friday, Deere posted their numbers. It was down 7% in the pre-market. It finished that session higher, and it's almost been higher almost every day. Today, it's NVIDIA. They posted their numbers last night. Stock is looking pretty sloppy in the aftermarket.
Yeah.
It's made a reversal higher. I mean, what does that tell you?
I think there's a lot of overreaction at the moment. And it comes back to, I don't think people are reacting to macro news much more, actually. I think people are sort of over this idea of watching exactly what the Fed's going to be doing or trying to read the tea.
But these kind of reversals like that, though, are they buy signals, potentially?
With the wheel spinning?
No, like the NVIDIA, like what it's done today, coming, being down and rallying back on earnings that missed.
Yeah.
Are people looking through the numbers and saying, okay, there was a reason maybe they missed, and looking at a bigger picture? Maybe demand is there. Maybe pricing power is there.
I think that's it. I think when there's a miss versus expectations, right? A miss where people say, okay, I kind of get it. But when they get it so wrong on expectations, that's the problem. But when they do take a step back and say, look, gaming's not going anywhere. Chips aren't going anywhere. That's, I think, when you start seeing these bounces come.
No, what else is coming on? The Chinese tech stocks. Are you buying any of those, Mike?
So I'm looking at them really closely. I haven't stepped in yet, but if this accounting overhang can leave these stocks, I think these stocks trade much, much higher. This overhang where these Chinese companies that are listed, that are ADRs in the U.S., have a special deal where they are not audited the same way as all other companies. And so there has been an effort to delist a lot of these names without compliance in the auditing.
But some of these names we have on the board are the biggest companies in the world. I mean, if they accept, hey, we're going to be listed and go through the same rigors as American companies, maybe they would be buying.
Oh, across the board. If this deal comes to fruition, these stocks are really going to take off, especially with all the stimulus going on in China.
I know you like Ford and General Motors.
I do.
Those are kind of boring, no?
Oh, but they're getting more glamorous. They're now going all EV. They're revving up on the glamour pill, Charles. And I think, with the Inflation Reduction Act, we do know that there's clearly a tailwind. GM just announced reinstating the dividend, which is huge. So
really? Okay, I didn't know that.
That was recent. Yeah. So that's just testimony to the cash flow generation. I've done well in these names. I think there's room to
go.
What
about Tesla? What does Tesla play with that then? I mean, do you think Tesla's overvalued vis-a-vis these names?
I know something really controversial. I am not in Tesla. And I have always chosen to be in the Fords and the GMs once I saw them invest behind EV rather than be in Tesla, because I look at good core businesses, funding the R&D in EV and those legacy autos. So I put my money there instead.
You look at a thing called fundamentals.
Relative valuations, those things. Exactly.
Hey, everyone's asking about dividend stocks, right? Because of this volatility. Now, getting 4% to wait it out doesn't look too bad. Mike, you have any dividend names that you like?
So Energy Transfer, they just sold off their Canadian unit to pay down some debt. The CEO just bought a ton more stock. They're really heavy, 7.5% dividend. And the CEO is the largest single shareholder in the company, which is a great endorsement. And then Chevron. Chevron's paying you close to 4%. It's one of Warren Buffett's largest holdings. He is not accumulating that the way he's accumulating Occidental, but he's bullish on
it's a little bit bigger bigger too, though, right? Let's face it. That's a bigger lift.
But I'm bullish on this energy trade.
Right.
I don't think it's over. I think it's a good place to hide if you're afraid of the market. If you're trading, some of those chip stocks might be able a good time to hop on back of that. These Chinese tech stocks for trades. For someone that wants to hold something and not quite have the motion in the ocean, some of these other energy names I think will pay off.
And the lesson there is follow the CEO as long as it's not Ryan Cohen. You got 30 seconds, a good dividend idea.
I've been in energy too. I've been in enterprise products, so EPP, and something like Alliance Bernstein, which has got an interesting tax-efficient structure to get the cash out to share.
All right, it's great having both of you in studio. Thank you very, very much, Ann and Mike. All right, folks, coming up, France's president just warned end of the era of abundance.